Okay, so this is a follow-up to a video I made like a couple of weeks ago regarding the durability issue of this 3D wrap mod. I did say right off the bat that once it's installed, it's really, really good. Um, However, the material it's made of was too rigid, and so the transitions here create a stress, and you can see straight away this bit's opening up. 3D Wrap originally got back to me and said, I'll send you some replacement parts. And then I've logged on today and found that they sent me an email saying, in fact, the parts we've sent you are our next iteration of this mod. First off, the first issue I had that happened within 2 hours was this centerpiece snapped off. I've since had one snap off the other end. And for that, they've sent me a big old piece of metal, which I'm really impressed with. That's a solution. Okay, happy days. I'm happy they've sent me that. I'm going to pop that on and we'll see what that works like. Now, the other thing they said was that unfortunately, I'd installed this upside down or incorrectly, the wrong way up, whatever the terminology was. Now, for context, I'll take this off. This part has a curved edge, and on the underside it's flat. Here's the replacement part they sent me, and if you look at each end, it's curved at the top and flat at the bottom. This was the instructions they sent, and you can see that the curved bit faces upwards on it, and on mine the curved bit faces upwards. So I wondered, right, well, is there something else I'm missing? Yes, there is something else I was missing, and it is this small nodule here on the end. Yet the reason that that's that way, and I did look on the diagram, it was originally installed the correct way up, but when the snap happened and I was only getting any sort of grip, I disassembled it and I swapped it around so that if I was going to get any grip, I was going to get it in the top range. I was quite happy to have it a little bit easier in the bottom range down this end. So I just swapped it around. That's the reason that's installed. So I don't think it's a good enough reason to explain user error. But what they've sent is this, and let's see if I can get the focus on there. It is what I've got in there at the moment, I think is version 3.3. And this is version 4. No, focus on it. Yeah, this is version 3.4. Version 3.4. Straight away, if you look at what's in there at the moment, you can see all the filament lines, and it is I can't really demonstrate it, but it is completely and utterly rigid. It sounds like a solid rigid thing, just like the shell on the outside here. Whereas this, I'm pleased to say, is exactly what it needs to be. It has, if I can squeeze it, it has just enough given it. That feels like it's made out of a completely different material. You can see it's much smoother. It doesn't have anywhere near the lines that it had before. Still exactly the same shape, but they seem to have taken some cues as to what was wrong with the previous version. I don't think that I'm responsible for this, despite making that suggestion to them. I think they must have been ahead of it because they've turned this around. Fair play to them. From me first saying I've got an issue, it's been a week, including all postage, probably less than that because I didn't even pick it up till like late. So this could be the golden solution. This could be exactly what it needs. We've got a really nice shiny metal faceplate to put on the top to stop those bits getting snapped. No chance they're getting snapped now. And we've got something that looks like it's made out of a more flexible material. So it just feels better quality, and everything feels quite light, feels like it's got some give in it. So this could be exactly what it needs. And that makes it the premium solution. But what I'll do is now I'll pause this. I am going to install it the right way up, i.e. that way up. And then I'll pick it up probably in a few days' time once I've had enough time to smash through it, and I'll give some decent, honest feedback on how it works, because there's a lot of videos out there saying what the initial impressions are like, and my previous video came out of the fact that after that initial impression, things went downhill. I think this could be the fix. We'll see. I'll get back to you. If I have the same issue, then I will go back to 3D Wrap. But fair play to them. They didn't just reach out to me here. They actually commented on the video and said, they're willing to stake their reputation on it. They're quite confident this is going to fix it. And if, that I should say something about it. So that's exactly what I will do. I'll pick up the video in a few days' time when I've hammered a few more laps. Okay, I've become aware that the last part of my video took a lot longer than I expected, so I'll keep this brief. Parts are all installed. It's at least a week since I put it in, say 2-3 hours a day for that week. This thing's been absolutely hammered. First off, the only negative I'd find is that, and you can still kind of see it kind of snags a little bit. One of the holes, I can't remember if it was on this red rod or the other end, but one of the holes on the actual clamp itself was tight on the red, so I had to file that down. And if you look at it on the previous part of the video, you can see at some point when I hold it in the light, you can see it's not perfectly spherical. That's probably a byproduct of the new technology they're using to finish it. It turns out this part is nylon based, which obviously has got a little bit more flexibility in it, and that is exactly what I was asking for. Yeah, top plate looks amazing, feels amazing, has a little bit more weight in it, meaning that I've had to upgrade from this sort of single clamp to a double clamp. But if you're using something like a platform like this, you probably won't have to worry about that issue. The extra weight does make it feel more solid, especially when you're slamming it into gear, and it has this nice sort of clanky rattle to it when it's up in gear. Yeah, perfectly. And you can see that it's probably just my driving, but you can see that there's like a nodule of grease on there. That's because I've had to grease the center of the stick because it clashes with that every now and again. Perfect. Metal plate was the exact solution to stop that snapping. And as for the clamp, there's no signs of stress. It still clamps 99. I don't even know if I can measure it. Maybe I'm just getting used to it again, but it still clamps really, really well. There's no signs of stress. Yeah, it's everything. It's the whole experience and better that people have got videos out of the unboxing and installing, and it's lasted for an entire week without any issues whatsoever. 3D Wrap, well done guys. Yeah, like I said before, I don't think I'll take credit because they were so ahead of the curve. This all arrived so quickly, and I'm really glad that I've had the chance to test it. Yeah, enough said. 3D Wrap, you're at the top of the list for the premium solution to fix the G29 G920 shifter. Yeah, good job.